everyone.
Hello.
What was that? That's what I expect from a Dragon Ball Super panel. Thank you guys. Team Anime Expo, who's excited? And I will be your host for this panel. We've got some special guests here today. This is going to be a pretty relaxed, fun panel. We're going to ask some questions. You guys are going to have a chance to ask questions. Sound good?
Yes!
What? This is my panel. So you guys, right off the bat, you can get Dragon Ball Super on home video right now. And we actually have some exclusives at our booth. If you guys didn't know, if you haven't had a chance to check out the exhibit hall yet, we have a giant Funimation booth that's right at the front. You can get parts 1 through 4, and we also have some exclusives. We have a Frieza Scouter. We also have a Dragon Ball Goku set. And for anyone who came in, if you didn't get one of these Dragon Ball Super Bandai trading card sets, don't worry, give us about an hour after the panel's done. We'll have some at the Funimation booth and we'll get you taken care of. Sound good? Cool. Also, if everyone wants to wave to this camera, we have a bunch of people watching on the Twitch stream back home. Hi! I know you guys can't join us, but you're here in spirit.
We're here for ya.
So without further ado, let's bring our special guest to the stage. No pressure. First up on the stage, we have Rial. And you get your choice of where you'd like to sit. Perfect.
I'll sit over here. Yeah, they might make me move. I can see them already.
All right.
Hi, everybody. How are you?
Strait to the
babies.
And last but certainly not least,
The pressure's off. You guys can do all my ha's for me. Some Kamehameha parts.
It's a little more relaxed.
A little stunt voice acting.
A little easier than a usual work day.
Yes.
A little load up.
My word, this is wonderful.
Woo! We've got people here in the audience. We also have people at home watching on Twitch.
Oh my gosh. Oh wow.
Hi. Hi, Twitch.
I'll make sure I don't do this. Oh wait, sorry.
The camera's over there.
Yeah, there's a lot. Hi guys, how you doing?
Hi.
How's your Anime Expo going?
Great.
Great.
Thank
I've
you
been
for
up
being
since
here.
3:30 a.m.
Did you fly in this morning? You flying this
Yeah, I
morning?
wish I could say I was partying all night, but I flew in this morning.
She's a trooper.
Who was up partying till 3:30 a.m.? It's a pretty responsible crowd, honestly.
Yeah.
I'm kind of proud of you all. I'm kind of proud of you all. Well, let's jump into it. We've got some Q&A questions that I'm going to ask you guys, and then we'll also open it up for these fine people to ask you some questions as well.
And I want that Prince shirt. That shirt's great. I love that Prince shirt. Sorry, I see. When you travel, you see all kinds of different clothes you never think of buying, and that's something I would never think of buying that I want. With a shirt with Prince on it. It's looking all princey. Sorry, let's get the question.
I mean, not to digress from Prince.
I have a lot of questions.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
So, jumping right in, so we're going to really be focusing on the dub today, because we have our dub actors here. I know some of you guys may have watched ahead in the sub. Let's all be cool and not do spoilers.
I don't know anything. Don't tell me. It'll ruin it for me.
Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it. Be
I know a
cool.
little bit.
That's our general rule for the panel today. You guys getting some free stuff. You're going to get to ask some questions, and in return, we just ask, be cool. Is that a joke?
No, it's just.
Is there a
Like, no, it's just funny the way you delivered it to me.
So, what's you guys' favorite storyline in Super so far? We're gonna start with the hard-hitting questions right off the bat.
So are we talking like storyline, like future songs?
Storyline.
Or side storyline where they, you know, go on vacation.
Main storyline. We'll get there.
Okay,
All right.
so I'm a little selfish.
All the ones with Bulma.
I feel like I should be doing the Bulma voice.
So, excuse me. Hello. Doesn't sound like me normally. I'm gonna go with the future Trunks arc. I think
I think that's really
because it features my son, who is phenomenal.
And a genius. You have to say he's a genius.
And a genius, and also I actually got to be a part of the action, which is so rare.
You traveled through time?
I got to hang out with you
Oh,
guys.
that's right, that's right. I was thinking about you as a person, not okay.
It's not like when you left me on Namek for 28 episodes.
5 minutes.
But no, like I actually got to be a part of everything. I thought it was really good. It had a nice mix of comedy yet the drama.
I love how Bulma's just sassing the gods. She's just sassing them. She doesn't care the whole time. I'm telling you! And she's just, I love it. She has no fear.
I love it. You guys, I can't tell you how much I love it.
Can we talk about my favorite story arc? I don't know if we can talk about it if it's come out yet.
What?
The little search that we did.
Oh, the one where me and Krillin go get some magic herb for Master Roshi. Hey, I didn't draw it. I just voice acted in
You
it.
can.
I mean, yeah, we're not really for or against legalization, but we
Apparently Master Roshi is. That was a fun episode.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that a lot. We made a lot of funny jokes that we can't release.
My favorite episode though is when Krillin asked Goku to punch him as hard as he can. Yeah, just hit me as hard as you can, man. I'll see what happens. He was flying through a house and then through a wall, and he just had a couple of bruises the next day. It's a good thing to know how much damage can you sustain from the Super Saiyan punching.
I have no idea. I've not been punched by one, but
I have.
mine, I guess, would be that I do like the Future Trunks business because it gets so serious and it's so cool. I did enjoy of course, I enjoyed playing Goku Black. That was cathartic. I finally got to say something nasty. That was fun. And those are my favorite. But we'll get to, I know there's more questions coming that I get to talk about other parts of the show because I live backstage. I snuck on your computer, so I know.
There are. You
Okay,
set me
I'm
up for
ready.
my next question.
I know, I'm ready.
It's like
What
you're
is
a
it?
professional. Like you've done this before. My next question is, what's your favorite side story?
I know mine.
Go for
All the
it.
ones with Bulma.
Well, no, I actually really enjoyed the baseball episode. And it was a lot of fun.
Turn your boy
I like to
Yancha.
your boy Christopher Sabat, the voice of Vegeta. He plays Yamcha and Vegeta. So I thought it would be really fun if Bulma like maybe flirted just a little bit more with Yamcha. Like, hey Yamcha, how you doing? So I got to mess with Chris Sabat's head, and that's always fun. Anytime you can mess with Vegeta, that's the best.
I'm this close to FaceTiming Chris to see what he says, but
Chris Sabat.
He's in.
FaceTime audio call to Chris Sabat.
How do you say his name? Oh wait, not audio, hang on. Wrong one. Hang on, let me try.
Make a FaceTime call to Chris Sabat.
Making a FaceTime call to Chris Sabat.
I feel like I'm having a conversation. It's fun. Let's see if he picks up. He's on vacation, and I want to make fun of him that he's not on the panel. If he doesn't
We're
pick
gonna
up,
bother him on vacation.
will it work? Or it was gonna? Oh, it says FaceTime.
Unavailable.
Oh, boo. Beforehand on my FaceTime, he's like, do it. So I tried. Didn't work. So my favorite side story is I love the baseball episode. I love when Vegeta goes on vacation. I like it when Goku gets sick and gets today on sick. Just do it. He gets going. Today on sick energy. Today disorder or something. I love that. I love I love the scenes. It's not a side story, but I love the scenes with Zeno and the button. Just call me anytime. It'd be great. I got somebody. He's just lying to him. He doesn't care. I got somebody trying to fight with you. He doesn't care. I love that. So. Sonny, did you answer? I was trying to call Chris.
I like the baseball one too, but I also liked when your character lies and say that we're going on a picnic, a space picnic. So that may be the first time Goku's lied about anything. But then I got to play my wife, Bulma, and Marin. I got to do all the
You should never trust anyone who says that you're going on a space picnic.
Space picnic.
That's word.
Savage just told me, he said they implemented strict cell phone driving laws in Georgia and the police are on the lookout. Now why that's funny is if you've ever ridden in the car with Chris, he likes to FaceTime while he's driving his kids. So I'm in the passenger seat, he's like, I gotta call my kids. Hey, let's go, kids. Dude, they're gonna watch you die if you don't.
Does he drive well when he does that? Actually, he does.
It's kind of aggressive. He's kind of talented at it, but it scares the crap out of him.
I think you should have to take a test.
It's not free, he just picked up, but apparently because of the Georgia laws, he's not gonna pick up. So
That's his excuse.
That's very nice.
that's his excuse. But in any other state, he'd be picking up and driving the kid.
Come on.
All right. So I kind of want to dig into the pop culture a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it's no surprise to anyone in this room that Dragon Ball is this hugely insane, just beast of a franchise.
It's a unique franchise amongst franchises in the sense that, and I like it, of course, to some of my favorite bands, but it's got this like cult following that's always hardcore. And then it has this massive fringe that likes it compared to other things, kind of hardcore, but not so much. And when you add it all together, it is massive, and it's all over the world. You know, but I didn't ask the question, sorry, I just got excited about
No,
the
that was
question.
it. I mean, did you envision it there?
I didn't envision it, but I had a gut feeling. Like I just expected. Well, it's on TV. It's a great show. It should be here. I didn't expect it to just.
But you didn't expect to go 20 years.
I didn't expect when we finished Z that they're gonna go like, okay, we're gonna do a movie. Okay, cool. We're gonna do another movie. Okay, we're gonna do Super. I'm like, what's going on with Kira Tram? I gotta call him. I don't even know him. Hey, Mr. Tram, I was just wondering, could you stop? Because I'm screaming my ass off here. I'm thrilled, actually. I was actually thrilled. I can't believe, and I really want you to think about this from just a truly emotional perspective. Here we all are in this room together, just because one guy was drawing something, 25, 30, 40 years ago, it looks like almost now, when he first started doing Dragon Ball. And here we all have something that we share and enjoy to this day for 20 years.
To this massive audience.
Stories out here, people losing loved ones or connecting or getting married or whatever life people live with Dragon Ball in their lives. They name their kids Gohan and Goten.
There was a meme of that.
I was at a convention and a soldier who had fought in Iraq came over and he said, hey, and I signed something for him. He said, I just want to let you know that my buddy and I were fighting and he didn't make it. But he and I we would watch Dragon Ball Z. And we related to Krillin because we were just as scared as he was. He said, I want you to know I'm going to put this on his grave. And I was just like, oh my God.
Yeah, I didn't even know how stuff
I
like
was just
that.
like, I can't believe the show moves people like that, but it's amazing.
And it's a wonderful gift to be a part of. Just sitting here with you guys today. It's amazing.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's in rappers are watching Dragon Ball Super.
Oh yeah.
I mean, NFL players. It's
I've met some of them. They don't know. Yes.
Michael Jordan.
I gave a football player, I think it was a stacked unit, because he was big, but he wasn't as big as Refrigerator Perry. And I go, you're the size of a stacked washer dryer unit. That's going to be your nickname, Stacked Unit Jones. Because I thought that was hilarious. So I gave him a nickname. I was trying to do it. I don't watch a lot of football, so I was trying to play it. It didn't work.
Bridging the gap.
I was trying.
Bridging the gap.
I was working. I was trying to.
Between sports ball and anime.
Sports ball and anime. And I was telling Chris the other day, I'm like, I was thinking about any other future Dragon Ball stuff. I don't know if you guys have heard, but Goku's going to be the mascot of the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo. I'm going to be 50 this year, and I'm like, I'm going to be doing this the rest of my life, just like this. And bless her heart. And so I'm like, okay, I got to keep it going. So I'm basically, this is what I'm doing. So, and I'm here to stay, so I'm excited.
He's professional Goku.
That's what I do. I just write it on my resume. I just put it when I sign check. Goku done. Oh, okay, it's cool.
Yeah, I want to feel famous. I just put on a Krillin t-shirt, walk around town. I love that show. Well, if you love that show.
Dude, here's what you gotta do, and it was the bane of my existence, is you get a Dragon Ball Z wallet. Because what happens is, you want to buy stuff, you get your wallet out, it's right there, and the person behind the counter usually watches Dragon Ball. Hey, you watch Dragon Ball? Then they look at the wallet, then they look at you, and they go, oh my God, there's one right there. You're talking about Dragon Ball, not getting your shopping done, which is fine. So I got rid of the wallet, had to get a different one, because I was like, every time I go somewhere, I buy a Starbucks. Hey, did you watch oh my God! So, if you really want to feel famous, get the Dragon Ball wallet and walk around with that.
I don't want to.
It's given me legitimacy with my dad, so does anybody have a Hispanic dad? Okay, so you know how they are, right? What are you doing with this creative crap? You go get a real job, yeah? So that's my dad, and so I've worked on so much anime, and he's like, Monica, this is not a real job. And then I land Bulma, right? And he's like, oh, Monica. Everybody knows about the molds of the dragon.
That is the best Dragon Ball quote I've ever heard. I'm serious. Even better than what we make up. Everyone's heard about the balls of the dragon.
Spread the word about the balls of the dragon, please.
The balls are a nerd, sir.
But now, anytime we go out to eat anywhere, right, and he'll ask the waiter, like, do you watch the animes?
Have you heard of the balls of the dragon?
Have you heard of the balls of the dragon? My daughter plays Bulma. But that's what legitimized me in my dad's eyes was Bulma.
So you got dad's respect, man.
Yeah, finally I was okay that I'm an actor.
After 500 anime roles.
After 20 years.
20 years of working.
Well, in Dragon Ball Z saved my family relationship with my mother too, because she was always saying, you need to go back to school and get your CPA. And she said that until she heard me on television.
Oh.
And then she's like, oh, my son's a superhero. Until then, I was like, you need to go back to school. I'm like, no.
But I know it's amazing. It's all right.
No. Your cartoon drawings are fine, but still.
Aww. All right, who is your favorite new character that's been introduced?
I love Zeno.
Super.
I love Zeno's voice. I love the scene with Zeno. I love Beerus and Whis a lot. When I'm doing Beerus scenes, I try to do a Jason Douglas impression, which is just right on planet. That's always got a glass of sherry or something. I love Jason Douglas.
I think Beerus and Whis, and it makes sense that they carried on from the first movie because they are such powerful characters.
Yeah.
But I also like the intergalactic space cop.
Jocko.
Great character.
Jocko was awesome also.
Yeah, I would have to agree. I think Jocko's awesome. I think Todd is so great.
Todd's great.
Jocko too. He's so funny. Beerus especially though, so here's a little tidbit of trivia. Jason Douglas and I went to college together.
Whoa.
And he's actually the person who got me into anime voice acting. So Beerus got Bulma into voice acting. So when I got to slap him, I was really excited until he slapped me right back.
Karma video page.
What are we doing next?
So which character do you think deserves more screen time?
Goku.
Krillin.
One more time?
Goku.
Krillin.
Bubbles fans?
Here's some Yamcha.
Yes!
Who is this Yamcha? You said
The manga that's about Yamcha's perspective of Dragon Ball after he's killed.
Who is this Yamcha you speak
so
of?
bad. That's what I'd like to see, is that anime.
Someone asked me on a panel once, what is Krillin's greatest strength? And I said, he's not Yamcha. And Chris was on the panel, and Chris said, "Hey!"
And no one deigns to kill Bulma or fight her, even though she can't fight. She's powerful just with her mouth alone.
Ron, my fiance, always likes to say that Bulma is the Iron Man of Dragon Ball.
True.
It's like, if she really wanted
She has
to
the
create,
tech.
yeah, she has the tech, she's got the money, if she really wanted to create a suit fight, I'm waiting.
She needs an Iron Man suit that she made. That would be cool. That would be awesome.
Basically. So if you had a chance, what other characters would you voice?
Goku.
One more time?
Vegeta.
No, I want to see
I'm
that.
gonna love that.
I would love to see you play Vegeta. That would be
I think
awesome.
it'd be pretty rad if Chris and I just switched parts. So Chris and I
Yeah.
play opposite each other a lot in anime.
True.
Which is weird because our voices are so polar opposites. So I think it'd be kind of fun to hear his take on Bulma and
Vegeta.
that's all I can do. That's all I can do.
I don't know. There's a lot of other characters I really... Any character that, you know, gets to be mean. Like,
Yeah.
well, because I play the goody two-shoe guy all the time, generally. And so Chris has the choice lines. Maybe that's Chris. And Chris has the choice lines. Bulma has the choice. Son, you guys all have the choice lines. I get the choice Kamehamehas and the choice badass moments generally, but when it comes to like the really juicy, you know, Vegeta lines or whatever, that would be really fun to play. I would really
Yeah,
do
it's
it.
nice playing villains.
Yeah, villains are fun.
You were so good at it too. I would say
villains?
you.
Oh.
Yes, I loved it.
Oh, what are you talking about?
Watching Goku Black and all that.
Oh, okay, like, I thought you were talking about, I was like, what are you talking about? Goku's the hero? What are you talking about?
That and your little giggle.
So the characters are named after food, right? We got
Some.
Whis, Beerus,
Chestnuts.
Kakarot, except
Yes,
for
Kakarot, yes.
Bulma, who's named after
Gohan.
nothing.
Raw.
So what's another food that would be cool to base a new character
I
off
said this
of?
backstage, coffee.
You did say
I
that.
think, all of the beverages, the warm beverages. Like you have hot chocolate, you have, just be one family, or one,
warm beverages?
or one race. Yeah, they would be like coffee, hot tea, or cappuccino,
Matcha,
hot chocolate,
green tea.
matcha, yeah.
What would that look like?
I have no idea. Yeah, they look like, yeah.
Like you threw out coffee. Did you immediately
I
have
just
like
pictured you
like
powered
a
up with,
character?
coffee beans instead of sets of beans. That's what I pictured,
With the ability to grind their enemies.
It's too hot, hang on, I'll power it for a second.
By the way,
Completely unrelated but related note. They made that joke in Super about it was a hit was talking about our race doesn't or whatever power up by yelling. I just read a scientific article that shows that animals' yell is directly proportional to their strength and dominance in the wild as well as with humans. So like if you see a deer do its yell or a lion or whatever, they test the strength and they said, yeah, yelling is actually dominance proportional. So I'm like, Dragon Ball's been validated.
Have you ever heard of
Best yeller is the most powerful.
Laws of physics.
Look it up, it's in
you
the
and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals. You and me, baby, ain't nothing but mammals.
Monica, do you have a food?
Yes, food.
Oh gosh, it has
Scones, not scones, what's the thing you like?
Oh gosh, macarons.
Macarons, yes.
I love macarons. Anything sweet. Give me some mochi. Maybe like a little bitty round food named mochi.
They're tiny.
Turkish delights would be good too. Lime, strawberries, lemon.
But then we have a problem with like boo around.
Oh, that's true. Blue would be a problem. Beers might be a problem.
Yeah.
Like going to eat those creatures.
So in the Future Trunks arc, deals with time travel just like in Dragon Ball Z. So what would you do if you had the ability to go back in time?
Get that CPA my mom wanted me.
Full circle.
I think I would start dating all over again. I've been married for a long time. Honey, is that okay if I go back in time and date people for you?
That is not okay. No, that is not
We'll take a
okay.
vote. Okay, I'm not going to do it. I will not go back in time and start dating again.
I go warn my previous self to not date certain women.
Oh, I would do that.
Of course, they probably do the same thing about me, but
Or I would just warn myself to get out sooner. Get out sooner, yeah.
Do you guys
Maybe
see
2 months with this one.
I mean, you guys took it to a very personal level where I was going to be like, I want to go back in time and, shoot Adolf Hitler.
personal life.
I would do that second.
Or, stop
good
world
points.
wars.
Next side story.
I thought it meant personally. I didn't know they meant globally. Yeah, we can do that. We just have to figure out how to get into the compound and
I'll figure it out.
Sounds like a really tough job.
yeah.
Although going back and dating all those girls I dated is a tough job too.
Yeah.
No, you gotta get the almanac like Back to the Future and bet on all the sports. You take
That's
the almanac.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, Back to the Future really taught us the way to do this.
Very much so.
I feel like also, I'm gonna just maybe get somebody for both of you guys to talk to, like after this. Like,
We do need counseling.
just work through like
So then I talk all the
relationship
time. It's
stuff.
fun.
We cancel each other.
Yeah.
And you can see what good it does. We just encourage each other.
What about like, so like as a kid, everybody has something where you're like, oh, I did this thing as a kid, I wish I could go back and change. If you had the power to do that.
Go
back to change something in childhood?
Or maybe something, maybe like something you did as a kid, or if you would, what would
I
you go
don't
back
think I would
and like?
touch anything from my past because I think you are
Yeah.
made up of of all of your experiences. And even the bad experiences, I think, temporary special.
Create who you are.
I'd like to go back to like my first anime gig ever when I didn't really understand what it was because I came from stage. Maybe like go back and do that now.
Oh yeah, there's
It'd be
that.
so much better.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't think of a childhood thing. I thought you were talking about things you wanted, because when I was a kid, I wanted to fly or have a lightsaber. Because Star Wars, I was born in '68, so Star Wars came, I was 10 years old. And I was like, okay, that's all I care about is having a... So I go back in time, I would have to go forward in time. I don't know, I'd like a lightsaber.
Like a lightsaber too. I want a lightsaber.
At Taco Bell and get free burritos.
And you're passing out the power of light. I would like that too.
Well, I guess, if you could travel through time, hopefully in the future.
Let me ask you, what would you change from your childhood?
This
Being
is
on the
not
screen.
about me.
It is about you now.
In any, I would, I don't know.
See?
I like asking questions. I don't like answering them, I'm not gonna lie. So, next question. Moving on, I'll come back. If I think of something good, I'll share it with you guys. Upcoming Tournament of Power arc for the dub. Goku needs to assemble a team of 10 warriors to fight for Universe 7.
Right.
So basically, assemble your crew. If you could pick a dream team, who would you pick?
For fighting Universe 7 or going cross country?
Or just ascend to another universe.
Fight for Universe 7.
Going on a burrito run with Sonny, like going on a beer run.
I'll let you answer. I'll let you answer.
Which run are we going on? I feel like other dream teams are.
Yeah, it depends on what the...
Where you're doing.
It depends on how dangerous the mission is. If it's really dangerous and it's going to another universe, I'm going to put Donald Trump on there first. No, because I think he can help.
Get your politics out of here. Get the politics out of here, yo.
It's California, I think I'm safe.
Get out of here.
I would pick for my dream camping Sonny, and Monica, and Chris. And let's see, who's my wild card? Lauren, yes, she's raising her hand, but you gotta buy all the snacks. And Todd Havergorn, yeah. But that's not enough.
What are we doing?
I would go
We're going on a road trip. I don't know.
That would be awesome.
Let's get a Winnebago.
So that's your real life.
I'm
people.
down with Winnebago. You know why I always wanted Winnebago? It's not because I'm becoming an old man. I've always wanted Winnebago because if you go to dinner and you have your Winnebago with you and you spill something on your shirt, you say, I'm just going to Winnebago to change my shirt. That actually happened to me. Here's a funny story, real quick.
So specific.
I was coming back from house sitting a friend during St. Patrick's Day in New York, and I was on a subway, and there was lots of drunk people, and I was sitting there, and the woman's hanging onto the pole above me, and she's standing there with her standing with her boyfriend. She looks really sick. I look up at her, I stop, and she pukes all over my pants. So here's the best part though. I had my suitcase with me, so I stood up in front of everyone, and I took my pants off, wadded them up with the puke inside, got out a fresh pair of pants, and put them on, and sat back down. And I was like, the only day I got puked on, I had my whole suitcase.
And in that moment,
And everybody in the subway clapped.
you wish you had a Winnebago.
I wish you had a Winnebago because if you have a Winnebago, also, if you're not on a subway with your suitcase, the Winnebago has all your stuff in it. And so you've always got your stuff.
Did you
You're
sell
just like a turtle.
Winnebago?
No, I just always wanted one since I was a kid. Because you got all your stuff with you.
Is that what
If
you
you get the Winnebago,
I'm
I'll
going to be
go.
with you at all times. Prince.
We'll just take a Winnebago tour across the country. That would be great.
Dude, we gotta do it. Didn't you do that during the card game when you drove the Hummer?
Yeah, I drove that Hummer all over the country. That was a blast.
He drove this Dragon Ball Z Hummer across the country in the card game in the early 2000s. For
Yeah, I played people the Dragon Ball Z card game, and if they could beat me, they got a prize. And at first, that was very easy because it gave me a headache. But by the end of the tour, I could have gone pro.
Really?
I was cheating on myself all the time so they could win.
Really? That's impressive.
Yeah, but a Winnebago is a better idea. We need to do that.
We need to Winnebago, man.
Yeah, you ready?
Kill each other by the end. All right.
Monica, who's on your dream team?
I still can't get over the fact that you got puked on.
Yeah, puked on a sub. It's in New York, man. You're gonna get puked on. Like, I lived there for 10 years, man.
Stand confirmed.
It was. You've seen it all when you lived in New York. Trust me.
Dream team, I would say yeah. I love all my voice acting buddies on Dragon Ball, and I think that if we all got together, we could probably do anything, or at least we would think we could do anything.
And that's enough.
I would watch that show. I would watch that show.
Yeah.
That'd be a good reality show, honestly.
Yeah.
It would be a ridiculous reality.
That would be cool.
I'd tune in.
Did you guys watch that show? Yeah! By the way, we're gonna have a show. You guys are in Winnebago until you kill each other.
All right, we have about 25 minutes left, and I want to open it up for these guys to answer some questions. So,
we have staff
I see everyone moving. Hang on. We have a microphone here. Before you bolt out of your chairs, form a nice orderly line over here.
Yeah.
And talk to Godswill. He's in the Funimation shirt. He's going to come down the line and talk to you guys about what your questions are. Make sure you're not asking any whack, crazy questions that we can't answer.
Better not be
honestly, we can't answer things that haven't been announced, anything that hasn't been released. We can't give you any spoilers
Hey,
or
we're
anything
not going
like
to get through
that.
that line, but
I have to say,
if you want to get in line, you can.
Godswill is my favorite name.
Godswill?
try.
Godswill, because it's such, you get interesting sentences from it. Talk to Godswill.
Oh yeah, Godswill. Yeah. We also it's a really good game.
What do you want to bet one of those people isn't one of Mango's salesmen? Like, just wait.
And he hands me $500. He's like, you did it, you sold one of Bagos.
So for our friends watching on Twitch, I apologize. I actually wish I had a chat up on my computer screen right now, and I don't. I'm sure that everyone at home has a bunch of questions as well, but get at us
If I had
on
known
Twitter.
if you were going to be on Twitch, I would have brought my Switch. We could just watch me play whatever on my Switch. Yeah.
Thoughts for next year. Thoughts for next year. Sound good?
Oh yeah, I got a Switch.
I got a Switch
I'm
too.
gonna play. I'm gonna get a Twitch channel going soon where I chronicle my training to defeat Christopher Sabat in my video game rematch with him. That's gonna be chronicled online as soon as I get it all set up and I'm lazy and I haven't got it set up yet. But I'm working on it.
I like the sound of that.
Idea?
I like the sound of that. Are we ready for our first question?
Yes, first question.
Okay.
All right, 10 minutes.
Thank you all for coming, everyone. I hope you all are going to get Chris Sabat a Dead Yamcha Funko Pop at Comic-Con.
He already has one, maybe.
He must.
Scheming to get one.
I'm guessing they probably would have special shipped that.
I hope so.
I hope so. Yes.
For Monica, does it surprise you at all that Vegeta turned out to be a pretty good husband and father?
Yes!
Maybe even better than Goku?
Oh yeah. I'm in a tree.
To be fair,
Be the very best. Like no one ever was.
Sex.
alright, this way, diversion! I will say, I've known Sean and Chris about the same amount of time, like 20 years now.
Yeah, about 20 years, yeah.
So it's really hard for me to choose between the two because it's like you got your BFF and then you got your hubby. So it's like, which one do you pick? But at the same time, I have to say, Jesus is much better dad.
Oh yeah.
But still not as good a dad as Piccolo.
I mean, Goku's.
Oh my god. Roasted.
If you name your daughter after your first girlfriend, what's wrong with you?
Wait, is that what he did? Wait,
His first girlfriend was Baron. It's spelled differently, but then his daughter's name was Baron. That's how you know Android 18 is an android.
Yeah.
Because no woman would appreciate that. Oh, honey, let's name it after my first girlfriend. She was really cool and hot.
Plus, there's the creepy factor of naming your daughter after your first girlfriend.
That's what Trump did.
This is why Sonny's my favorite improv buddy of all time. No offense, Monica. But he has a magic that we share.
We have
Tree
another. Next question. Hi.
So for the cast, for Dragon Ball Z, there's been plenty of redubs like Kai and Ultimate Uncut and even the original. As far back as the cast can remember, what have been their favorite moments and throughout those times?
Throughout the different versions of Z we've done for Kai and the original Z.
And Ultimate Uncut?
And okay. What do you think? I want to call you Bulma.
What?
And then your
It's the red string of fate.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was a tie you tattooed on there that I could pull off and your flesh would unravel. I'm sorry. I got distracted. Well, this is a tattoo with a tie. I was making a joke. What's the question?
There's a lot of ADD in our people.
Yes, a lot of ADD. Oh, stuff we remember from the show that we like from the other.
Yeah, her
Okay.
favorite moment. You guys go first. There's so much. I mean, like one thing that I can remember that. So in Z, right? There's a whole bunch of time spent on Namek.
Yeah.
Right? So one of my favorite things is when we did the, the trivia questions for Resurrection F, right?
Yeah.
And they're asking me all those questions about Frieza, and I'm like, guys, I wasn't around. I was on Namek. And they still ask me all these questions, so I feel like that was so ridiculous because the whole interview, I'm like, maybe this is
Well, more believable when you speak. What do you like saying?
I like the chance to go back to it because we were very green when we started out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So much more experience by the time Kai came around.
Oh yeah.
So that we could actually give it a lot more. But also, Chris had let me direct Krillin in Kai. So I went and directed
yourself,
and that was really cool. And one of my favorite scenes was when he had to tell Bulma that Goku is dead, and it's like rehearsing outside. Goku is dead. No, that's not good. Honey, honey. Hey, Bulma, what's up? You know, it's like.
I remember that. That was fantastic.
And then a lot of people told me that was their favorite episode. I went, oh, thank you. I directed that one.
That is awesome. I love the driving episode, the license. I love that. And then I'm trying to remember Kai. Well, they would have edited that out, and Kai. I can't think of it. Kai and the new. We're talking about the new series also, right? Because there's a lot of stuff.
Just, yeah, some of the like the.
Oh, well, I loved the Goku King Kai scene where and Battle of Gods where I introduced to Beerus for the first time. That whole scene was really fun for me. Having to play two guys and try to make it sound like it's two different people talking. I think that was. Yeah, and Resurrection F was astounding also. Those are my two favorite things probably of all of it, is Battle of Gods and Resurrection F. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Good question. Thank you.
Thank you.
You guys are amazing. I have
Thank
a question. I know that all of you guys are actors and you were trained on the stage, and you know, all of us age. You guys have been doing this for so many decades. I love you. Have you ever?
Hey, baby. Goku, remember when you had Jesus?
I just want to say I insisted Sonny was on this panel, and you're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you.
I was just wondering, have you guys ever been like nervous or scared about your voices changing to the point where it would affect like your characterization?
I was way past puberty by the time I got the part. No, I'm kidding. I get your point. No, I get it vocally. Your voice can change as you get in your 40s, especially, and oftentimes opera singers don't really mature until they're in their 40s. And I'm, like I said, I'll be 50 this year. So I was concerned as I got a little bit older, and it has been a little bit more difficult to recover from screaming and stuff, but it's still, it's still fine.
And thank God the characters actually age.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do age, so that helps,
But yeah, if you do a lot of warm-up exercises and things like that, you can maintain your voice for a long time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think I worried about it, but not so much for Dragon Ball because Bulma is in a much more comfortable range.
But I play a lot of like really little girls and stuff.
And so I always worry that one day I'm going to wake up and like be a grown woman.
What will I do with my life when all I can do is this?
That's funny. Sorry, that's one of my favorite Monica voices.
Well, I play Usopp as well on One Piece. And, but it's like Krillin talks like this, right? Well, Usopp talks like that with a hitch in his voice. And that hitch hurts! And he also screams every line he says. And Mike McFarlane, whenever he directs me and I have to scream a lot, he goes, oh, there's another year of your career gone.
I lost my voice on a video game once where I had to talk like this for 14 hours. And I went to a Chinese herbal doctor and he put a bunch of needles in my head and gave me a bunch of herbs and it helped. But I permanently damaged. It was for Black Doom and Shadow the Hedgehog is when I lost my voice.
What did he do for your voice?
What's that?
What did he do?
Well, he put a bunch of 2.5-inch needles in my head and then he gave me a bunch of herbs and I did a bunch of acupuncture. They were really, it did help a lot. Yeah, it was just really hardcore acupuncture. It was painful.
I tried just for the fun of it.
I enjoyed it.
Next question.
Hi, big fan. I've been actually watching the show since I was a little girl because my dad.
Awesome. Thank you.
He actually got me into it. But my main question was, how did you guys feel about the first arc basically revolving around instant noodles to go to Beerus?
You mean like the whole episode with like Whis and Bulma trying to like kind of win him over with food and then the whole ramen debacle?
Yeah.
That was awesome because Chris Sabat and Ian, who plays Vegeta, and Ian Sinclair, who plays Whis, and I are really good friends, and we like to go out to dinner a lot.
And Ian Sinclair's a food snob. He's a foodie.
He's a total foodie.
He ranks his ramen in places he's had it in the world.
Oh gosh, yes.
It's like my top 5 are in London, Australia.
But there's a reason he plays Whis so well, and it's because he knows what he's talking about. But I loved being able to have that whole episode with these two guys who I've seen be complete and utter food snobs, and then it's all about ramen, instant ramen. I'm like, that's fabulous.
Ian introduced me to Daikokuya, which I had yesterday, by the way. Which is the bomb if you want some amazing ramen locally.
Best ramen?
That's the best ramen attack! No. Are you next for a question? Yes. Could you please? Yes, thank you.
That would be a good Dragon Ball team as well. They're named after different types of ramen.
Oh yeah,
Like shrimp, chicken, vegetarian
ramen.
Oh, hi. Just want to say I love you all. Especially my Mexican dad. He loves all of you. Been watching it. This is for Monica. Have you ever done the power-up voice in Bulma's voice?
I have actually been very lucky that I do yell a lot, right? So there's a lot of yelling, especially in Super, which I find hilarious because now whenever Bulma yells, before it was just like, she's yelling. Now it's like, which makes me very happy. But no, I've never had to do any crazy power-ups. There is a lot of yelling though. I will say she is not, I don't have to do the Kamehameha.
3 minutes of power.
Yeah.
Could you do that right now?
Could I do that? This is my moment. I've been waiting to fight you guys. This is so exciting.
Come on, Bulma, we need you. Let's do it. Add your power to ours.
All right.
All right.
Your fists. Yeah. I'll do that some other times in 20 years.
It's free therapy. I feel so happy right now.
That's good. It's good to let it out.
Thank you, Monica. Thank you for your question. That was great. Next question, please.
Hi, thank you guys for coming out. First off, Monica, that was awesome.
Yes, it was.
Second, my question's for all of you. If Beerus ever kicked the bucket for one reason or another, who would you like to see take over the role as the next god of destruction and why?
I am curious if Whis and Beerus are not moving Goku and Vegeta to be the gods of destruction and creation, respectively. I'm not sure, but it seems that way. But I don't know what's going to happen. You know?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's where they're going.
Eventually.
Yes, yeah.
Because why are they interested in training them? Why? They never said why they're training. Did they?
Bulma for God of Destruction.
I don't know. I haven't looked ahead. Really? Have they said why they're training? And Beerus just had a dream about Goku in the movies. Because I gotta fight this mouthful Super Saiyan.
That would be a cool direction.
I think that now that Vegeta's softening up a little bit, we get to see a softer side, that I can believe him as a god of destruction, because he'd actually think about it before he destroys.
Yeah.
Whereas before, like back in the time...
And Goku's just the accidental god of destruction.
Sorry, I broke it. Oops. Okay, bye. Bye, my kids.
That's how he rolls. Goku,
Thank you. Next.
Alright, hi. Yeah, thank you guys for all that you do, especially you, Sean, for tearing your voice almost like every single season.
Yes.
Every episode. My question for you, Sean, is what is the most enjoyable parts of playing a hero and playing a villain?
You talking about Goku Black, etc.? Because I thought you were talking about just Goku. He's like a hero, but he blew up King Kai's planet, left his kids behind. He's like, I'm leaving Earth because everybody comes to kill me.
Well, a hero by accident, I guess you could say.
True, it is by accident. You know, I played some decent villains in previous shows, not on Dragon Ball, that I've enjoyed, but it was definitely very cathartic and to work on it and my main concern was when we were having Goku fight Goku Black, is that it really felt like two halves of a coin. Still Goku-y enough, and you know, and it still had the fight reaction. And there are some moments where, you know, you'll hear Goku Black do some very. I was trying to do these very. I hate to use the word, but it was like lusty attacks because he really relishes the evil. So it's not just on normal. It's more of a. You know, so when you hear Goku's heroic attacks, even the attacks, I wanted to be different, so that it feels like two different people, but yet the same. It was a very difficult but enjoyable process for me, especially considering I was chasing the actor who played Zamasu's accent around, so I was trying to work on that too, but I think it turned out great, and I'm thrilled with the result, and it was definitely, after 20 years of playing the hero, being able to be nasty for once was, because I don't even have any ancillary characters. Like Chris plays like 20 characters. I got a good character, another good character, and a kind of good character that, well, he's just good, that got absorbed by Piccolo, because I played Nail also, but that's all I do in Dragon Ball, so it was definitely I love the comedic moments also, I think. That's another reason I like playing the hero, though. But yeah, the other part was cathartic, for sure. That answers the question.
Thank you. You're rock, Sean.
Thank you.
chapter coming out. My question is, if you could replace one move in your whole moveset with another one, what would it be like? For example, Destructor does with Dynamite Kick.
No, if I could do, I wouldn't change his moves. I would change the way he uses them. I mean, I think Dragon Ball Z would be a very short series if Krillin just said, Solar Flare, followed by Destructo Disc. Everybody's dead, right away.
And I would like to change my character's moves to where they actually work. Meaning, does a Kamehameha, or does a Spirit Bomb, and it hits the target, or the Kamehameha, like he does Kamehameha, instant transmission, ha, on cell, didn't work. Like, I would like that to work, and it's like, okay, end of the episode, we're good.
Yeah, also, if I was Krillin, I would spend more time practicing aiming the Destructo Disc. I would just be out every day. Destructo Disc! Destructo Disc!
He gets a pizza delivery job.
Pizza delivery! Just open your door, I'll put it right on the table.
You end up killing half your customers because you throw the pizza too hard.
Sorry, I'm training. Sorry, man, I'm training.
They got pizza inside their guts. Oh man, where am I going with this? Okay. I didn't get enough sleep last night. Oh, you didn't get enough sleep. Because you're the one who flew in this morning.
But I feel like you were itching to.
I would love to steal some like Gallic gun. That'd be awesome to be able to do that myself. But I don't know if that's
What new tech would you invent? Since that's your shtick, what kind of tech would Bulma invent?
I mean, here's the thing though. We don't know what she has invented because she keeps it a
True,
secret
she
to
keeps
herself,
absconding the
right?
secrets from Dad.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm just gonna hide this away until we need it.
I don't know. I think that I want my suit. I want to be able to fight you guys.
Yeah, the Iron Man suit. That would be great.
I think it'd be super
Iron Man
fun.
suit would be
A new Gundam.
Some fan artists get that done. That would be awesome to see that.
Thank you for the question.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Jorge from Reality Changers, and this question is for Sean. Sean, you've been playing Goku for a long time.
Hundreds of years. Thomas Edison first recorded us back in.
No, I think of Goku, I think of like he's always been a very innocent character. He's very dumb, naive, but he always somehow saves the world in a very
really old, dumb, and naive. If you didn't follow where he's going,
yeah. But he's so innocent. Like, but I'm just curious.
Funny looking. He's funny looking.
What are your thoughts on his character development, especially now in Dragon Ball Super? Like, what what do you think has been happening? Is he getting dumber, more naive? I just noticed the difference between like the Japanese, and then the dub, and I'm like, dude, he sounds really dumb sometimes in English. I'm just trying to understand why are they still putting in their. You sound dumb in English. I love you, but I'm just dude, Goku needs to grow up, like he really does.
But I also think he's gaslighting everyone. But because there's a couple of times where he does it'll seem stupid, but then like even with the Cell Saga, he was playing Cell. He had Gohan as a pocket, like as a wild card in his back pocket the whole time, and kept that under wraps. So you can't be a total idiot and go, okay, I figured out Gohan's going to be the one to do it. I'm not telling anybody. And was able to keep, so that's a smart strategic move. And he will do clever, I interpret the character from the beginner's mind concept. So he's always in a state of childlike, that's why it's important to me that he only, and I don't control the writing, so I just do the best I can to interpret the character from the script. But to me, if he did grow up and join the rest of them, it would ruin it, because I think what's beautiful about Goku is he's constantly the master of knowing nothing, the beginner's mind, and it's based on the Monkey King and the Great Journey West. So it has to have that, and you see the other characters change around him. And sometimes I'll catch a line they've kind of written it Vegeta style, and I'm like, hey, I don't know that Goku would go in this direction. He's not a macho Saiyan pride guy. Is there strong fighters around? That's awesome. Let's go do that. Like, he wants to fight the strongest no matter what. And
he's a kid. He's a kid.
Well, it's also he's like in a zen state the entire time.
Yeah, he doesn't even get tripped up by the fact that he's meeting the whole god of the universe and might ruin Zeno.
Yeah.
He doesn't care. And he's like, it'll be fine. He's in this state of constant enlightenment. And when you're in that state, there's not a lot of changing because you've transcended anything. If you've ever read any Buddhist monk scriptures, they're just like they're growing, but once they've achieved enlightenment, there's this constant maintaining of it. But they're in this state, and so I've interpreted the character that way based on all the research I've been able to get my hands on, reading a character, interviews, etc., etc. and trying to figure out more, reading the manga, etc. So I'm trying to understand. People get frustrated with that, and I feel a lot of pulls and pushes from different people to go that way. But I look at the big picture and go, if he starts acting like Vegeta or changing or I don't know, having normal human attachments, even though he's a Saiyan, I think it would ruin the character in the show. He's got to stay. And when you see it, to me it's graphically represented when he's gone a long time and he shows up and everybody's going, oh, Goku's back. I don't think they're awed at how awesome he is. I think he's just this character that is the embodiment of this state that everyone's in awe of. So that's kind of the way I interpret it. But I feel like you were going somewhere with this as a point. You're trying to say comparative to the Japanese or that I'm just dumb, or what? I don't know.
I just noticed the difference between the Japanese version and the English dub, and I'm just trying to understand how is there a difference, in the character development that you seem like.
I can be very clear that I do not, they're doing their own thing, and I don't look at any. I was an ADR director for 3 years, and I never looked at the source material as necessarily the gold standard per se, because I'm recording a show and writing a show for a different audience that speaks a different language with a different culture. So as far as getting that emotional content right, that's really important to me, but it's not necessarily always going to be exactly like how they did in Japan. And it's not the same. I've heard French Goku, I've heard German Goku, I've heard all the different ones, and I've seen lots of different, and it has a different feel, but intrinsically all yet the same kind of spirit. So it kind of works in that way. So I want to be clear that when I go into work on the show, I'm not thinking, I didn't even hear Moscow as I was voiced until we worked on the first video game. Because we didn't get source materials from Japan, we got it from Mexico. And so I was listening to it. That's all I don't speak Spanish. What did I say just now? I spoke fake Spanish. Monica speaks Spanish. That was my fake Spanish. I didn't offend you, did I? I didn't offend you. I don't want to offend anybody with my fake Spanish, but I think it's pretty funny.
I speak Spanish, and you didn't offend me.
What's that?
I speak Spanish, but you didn't.
Okay, good. I couldn't tell, but.
Generally a very chill kind of people.
Yeah, oh good, I've heard that. No. I've heard the Spanish are chill.
Did you know?
So I hope that helps you, and I'm really coming from a place on how I gather the data, and I think Sonny's the same way, and Monica. I think the whole cast, we look at it that way. We hope we're preserving the spirit and meaning of the storyline and the mechanics, but adding some flavor that
it's very important to keep to the same
like.
intention, but at the same time we bring elements of ourselves to it.
Yeah.
Otherwise it wouldn't seem real to you.
Yeah, I think it wouldn't work that way, but that's that's how we do it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, good question, man. Yeah.
So we have about 4 minutes. So we're gonna.
Do we want to do a fast one? We got 4 minutes. We can do
rapid fire.
Can we do a lightning round?
Lightning round.
Here's my question for the whole cast.
Go.
How do you feel about doing the characters, and did you think it'll have a big impact before you did it?
Great and no.
Great and no.
Yes and awesome and yes.
Get out.
Next. But I am astounded by the impact. I see it in pop culture all the time. It's amazing.
Okay, question for Sean. When Goku hooks up with his wife, how does he not break her in half?
I want a speech.
I feel like I should moderate.
Goku was copied by Chi-Chi, so he doesn't know he's had sex with her. She stole in the night.
Lightning round. Next question. Lightning round.
This panel just went PG-17.
This panel just went.
Big fan of you guys, especially Sean. Goku's my favorite character.
Thank you.
Wanted to ask you guys, if Goku assembled the Infinity Gauntlet, how do you think he would use it?
Who's the strongest in the universe, and can I fight him? I actually haven't seen Infinity War yet. I need to see it. What's so funny is the reason I haven't seen it is because everybody's bugging me to see it. So now I'm not going to see it further because the audience went, I've been been for like 10 years. Now I've seen it. I love it. And I'm like, I'm not going to watch it. You don't see it. It's, no, I don't have to see it. Maybe I can wait. So I don't.
Is it still showing?
I think so. On planes. I've seen it on planes, and I don't watch it. I watch something else. I'm sure it's great.
Yeah, but it's that big.
Well, yeah.
All right, rapid fire. Next
question.
Hello, I'm short.
Hi,
Okay.
short.
If you had to pick a new color of Super Saiyan and you got to just design it however you wanted.
Color?
Fuchsia?
Yeah.
I want the rainbow wig that the guy wears in the football games.
yeah.
Football games with John 3:16, the rainbow guy from the 70s. Like the Super Saiyan rainbow!
There are pictures of that.
Oh, really? Oh, I can see
That's
that.
awesome. Good question. Next.
I figured this is going to be very expected, so I really don't care, but I want to hear it myself. I know there's a person named Saitama from One Punch Man. I'm sure you've heard of him. Who would win, Goku or Saitama?
Well, here's the thing. I think Krillin would. I just... I get the Goku Superman thing.
Well, let's talk about power scales here for a minute.
Well, yeah, based on the Scoville scale of hotness for peppers. Because there's a Scoville scale of hotness for peppers and power levels on the internet. It's great. Like ghost peppers are just like Frieza level or some shit. I don't know, but there's Scoville scale of hotness with peppers, with power levels.
Saitama, I mean, he doesn't fight as powerful of beings, or has he yet?
Well, here's the thing. Actually, here's the thing with Saitama. In the first season of One Punch Man, it is intimated that possibly Saitama gets his power from a godlike source. I noticed that in one of the episodes. And Goku is now in a god mode. So when people ask me Goku versus Superman, I'm like, he's a god mode, Goku. Saitama says, until they establish that Saitama has some kind of god power, and what that is, Goku. So,
We have 30 seconds left. I'm afraid this is probably our last question. Thank you all. I'm sorry. It's the final question.
you people in the back have no hope.
If you could bring back any bad guy from any Dragon Ball thing into the Tournament of Power and put him in your team, who would it be?
Cell. The entire planet Vegeta. The entire planet Vegeta Bardock comes back. That'd be awesome. Why not?
Stellar, or I liked Boo when he was angry. I liked Boo when he was an angry guy. I thought he was fun.
All right.
Good question.
That was a very good question. Thank you all for waiting.
I was so close.